Bryce, how tough was it to bounce back from each of the plays that scored taken off the board?
I mean, obviously it's not ideal, but that's part of the game. You know, you got to be able to, you got to have that next play mentality, whether it's good or bad. And, you know, we understand that that's part of the game. So, yeah, it's not an ideal situation, but, we still have to be able to turn the page, go back. It's, whatever it is. Now it's second and 10, or now it's second, whatever, whatever it was. You just gotta regroup. It's tough, but that's part of the game. That's not just, we all do that.
I know it's probably not the time for self-reflection or anything like that, but initially, just what can you take from this season?
Yeah, right now, like you said, it's tough. There hasn't really been a sit down and think about big picture, reflect. Hasn't been it. We just got off the field not too long ago. So really, I don't want to just tell you something just to say it and not be true. So really, we've just been focused week to week. We still have that. Obviously, things just wind down. So.
Now that the season is over, are there areas to your game you want to sharpen up in terms of fundamentals, in terms of technique?
Yeah, I mean, just as a competitor, just wanting to grow. Of course, there's going to be things that are better, but there's the process of not just, hey, I want to be better. I want us to. You got to get the specifics, and that comes with, again, there's going to be a time after this to self-reflect and to watch the film, do a self-scout, figure out the things so I can put a plan together. But that hasn't happened yet.
Bryce, I know it's been a really tough season. What do you feel you've learned from what you've gone through this year?
Obviously just dealing with adversity. We're not, you're not entitled to anything, not entitled to any, to any sort of success. And just that you got to keep, you got to keep showing up, keep making sure that you're pushing yourself. You can't lean on, success to, be your motivator. You have to be internally motivated, and that's something that, obviously got put to the test throughout the year. So I think that's definitely a learning lesson for me.
What do the next few days, maybe next few weeks look like for you? Do you take a step back and kind of take a break away from the game?
Probably full transparency. Haven't mapped out exactly what it's going to look like, what it's going to be. But yeah, just obviously talking to the vets around here, people that have my first off season, so people that have been there. Everyone said obviously just take some time and take a step back. So now that the season's over, I'll sit down and figure out what that looks like.
Bryce, Coach Taylor talked about his message to you being, that you'll have brighter days ahead in the league, and I know other coaches and teammates have shared that with you. Is it tough to receive that message in times like this?
It's just the competitor and me, and not just me and everyone in the locker room. It's tough. Obviously, this was a tough year. This was a tough day, and I appreciate the encouragement from coach, from other people who said it. It is appreciated for sure, but also it's hard when you're in the moment. We all put our everything in, day in and day out, and we kind of live in those moments. And then ultimately, when we move past it and then get time to reflect and be able to grow, it'll probably play more of a factor. But it's appreciated. It's just as a competitor, full transparency, we're all in the moment right now, at least.
Is there any football experience in your life prior you could compare to how hard this has been on you?
Obviously, this is a different level. There's not really much I can compare about stuff from my past, good or bad. This is a different level, different league, and yeah, it presents unique challenges for sure. But ultimately, things are what they are. It's an opportunity for me to grow, figuring out just ways to push myself to be better. Again, we all have that mindset, so that's the approach towards it.
We'll take Scott Fowler, and then we'll take Scott Fowler, and then we'll take Sheena, and then we'll wrap it up.
Bryce, I was just going to ask you, did you think it was even conceivable that this offense would be shut out 2 weeks in a row and began this season?
That's not a way that we have thought.
During training camp, Aaron Rodgers shared that the advice he gave to you is to show yourself grace. How often during this season, which has been a tough one, have you kind of relegated back to those words, not just from him, but advice that other vets gave you coming into your rookie season?
That advice, and like you said, advice from a lot of vets, again, it's very appreciated. And it's just kind of just been that, trying to find that balancing act of, like you said, giving yourself grace and giving yourself the ability to move on, but also not being complacent and understanding that, you know, you're not entitled to things. You're not entitled to better J's just because you're not in the best. So it's a balancing act. It's definitely something that's been in mind and is appreciated and is part of it. But, you know, just trying to find that healthy balance. Appreciate you guys.